Welcome to the episode Middle Ground with JLE, L.L.C, where we treat you like family. That is the theme song, Detroit Love, off my first album, the JLE Experience. I own the copyright in the music, so don't mute it on Facebook. I always got to get that out the way. We got another great guest for you today. We have Professional Development Director at Oakland County Bar Association, Shanay, Cuthrell.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
You're right. Thank
There
you.
we go. So, first question, what led you to this path?
That's a good question. I will say that my journey has definitely been up and down.
Okay.
What led me to this path is when I was in college, my major was public and nonprofit administration. And in order for you to, get all of your hours and credits, you were required to do an internship.
Okay.
And one of my professors recommended I go for the Michigan Department of Transportation. And at first I was confused. I was just like, you know what my major is. I don't want to be an engineer. Like, what are we talking about here?
This ain't the same thing, man. What you doing?
Yeah. And she told me about the youth development and mentoring program. And I was like, okay, cool. I can do that. So I applied for the job and they started me as a team leader.
Okay.
And over the course of 4 years, I worked my way up to the program coordinator.
Awesome.
And yeah, the thing about it was that it was a seasonal position.
Oh.
So, it's like you're getting your foot in the door, but it's temporary. So I did it for 4 summers in a row. And then it was like I kind of aged out of the program.
Okay.
But my supervisor, who was the director over all of the youth programs in that region, he took to me and he became a mentor to me. Kind of like a work dad, always giving me advice, teaching me how to network, always putting me in the room with people because he thought it was important, your network is your net worth. So I greatly appreciated all the advice that he gave me. And after the program, after I aged out of the program, he would tell me when there would be big interviews. So I did an interview for a diversity position right before the program ended because back in 2019, that was the year I graduated from college. So it's like, I'm looking for my first real big job. And he was like, well, apply for this position. Applied for the position, got the interview, but they told me I was top 2 and not number 1.
Oh, man.
So I didn't get the position. So that was kind of like the first blow for me and, trying to figure out the next step in my journey. Because it's like, I've been doing this for 4 years. This is my passion. This is I can see myself doing this for the rest of my life.
Okay.
So I'm just like, that doesn't happen often where you find something that you love. So I'm just
right about that.
How can I get back into it? So every time there'd be a big interview, he would call me. And then, after the 4th time, I'm like, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. And enough is enough.
I hear that.
And then COVID happened, of course, because that was, going into 2020. And I became depressed just because I'm just like, I'm working at Panera and I have a bachelor's degree. This is not adding up. So it was, that was a hard time for me. We say don't compare ourselves to our peers, but I'm just like, I'm looking at my friends and they're working and they're telling me about their job. And I'm like, I'm tired because I've been slicing bread and taking orders all day. And I'm just, it's like a period of you just, figuring out yourself, am I worthy? Why won't they pick me? What am I doing wrong? Just constantly questioning who I was. and that wasn't okay.
Nah, I did
No,
after I graduated.
yeah. And I'm just like, they don't tell you about the graduation blues, like you walk across that stage and you've made this big accomplishment, but when that job is not there, what do? You can't
Yeah,
panic. You got to be patient, but it's just like, well, damn, how long do I have to be patient? Oh, excuse me.
you're all right. You're all right. You're all right.
We say it informal, but I'm a.
You're right. Hey, you're fine. Hey, I graduated in the pandemic in 2020, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be popping in these streets by January 21, and 50 plus applications, nothing. Like, and my friends been got into their life and career. You finally got done doing this. Changed my careers a few times. Finally graduated. Studied for 20 some years. Like, okay, I would like to get to the next step. And when it ain't coming, you like, dude. And this my payback for something I did. I don't know. I thought I
Yeah,
apologized to everybody on the planet. What's up, Lord? Hoping my time to shine, baby. What's happening?
right. Like, did I do something to somebody and I forgot? Like, what is
Yep.
happening here?
Have all those thoughts. Stay a little worse than damn. Like, man, okay. But
Exactly.
you gotta just be patient.
Right.
But
Got to
then what
be
happened?
patient. Then I got a job as a community care lead at a school in Detroit.
Okay.
And that was my first experience working with K through 8. And that taught me that I didn't want to be a teacher. This is not a life that I desire for myself.
Shout out
It
to our
was
teachers, they superheroes.
no,
It's a lot. It's a lot.
it was a lot. I'm buying supplies for my students because they're not
Yeah.
coming to school prepared. And
Yep.
my best friend is a teacher, and I was just like, I get it. I get
I've
it
heard those
now.
struggles. Mhm.
And I was like, this is not it. Like, I love youth, but I like teenagers and above.
Got you.
So I did that for a while. And then because the kids were going to be going home for the holidays,
Mhm.
they didn't want to risk COVID. I'm like, it was still, I mean, it's 2020, it's still COVID, very much so. So they let us go. And I'm just like, here I am, jobless.
Here we go
I'm
again.
like, what do I do? I'm like, I mean, I'm still working at Panera, but I'm like, it's part time and it's not, forever.
Hmm.
So a couple months go by, and there was this job that I had applied for like a year before that, and they finally called me back and interviewed me, and I took the job. It was to be a career coach.
Okay.
Again, not
I don't know what that
something
is,
that
but
I
this.
want, but I had the experience from MDOT. At MDOT, being a program coordinator, I had workforce development experience.
Okay.
I had a public speaking experience. So I had all these, I had these different types of experiences by working at MDOT. So it's like, how can I flip it to get the next job? So that's how I got that job. And they taught me resume writing. So I got my resume writing certification.
Awesome.
Exactly. So what I've learned over the years is if you know you don't plan on being at a job forever, take something from it. You have to learn something from that job. What do they call it? Transferable skills.
That's true.
And that's what I took from that was a transferable skill. I worked that job for a month. That's why it's not on my resume.
Okay.
And then I got hired at Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network.
Okay.
So Cassandra, that you did a
Yeah, I was
podcast
about to say.
with a little while, she was my director,
Oh
actually.
wow! Shout out to her.
Yes, I'm like, it's a
Okay.
small world. And she was phenomenal. I worked there for a year and about 5 months.
Hmm.
Um, it's definitely by far the most rewarding work experience that I've ever had. I got a chance to serve on a mental health panel,
Wow.
and I got to speak at the Michigan Teen Conference.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was a moderator for different events, and it gave me a chance to work with youth and give back to youth. And this is going to get me a little emotional. But, we talk about finding purpose. And in that job, I found my purpose.
That's
After
awesome.
that mental health panel and just seeing the youth, talking to them after the fact, when I got back to my car, I cried.
Mm-hmm.
To be 27 years old and find my purpose. They say, some people don't find it until later in life, but it was in that moment that I
Blessing.
knew this is what I was meant to do.
Yeah.
You know, and then I started thinking to myself, here I am, a regional youth coordinator,
Mm-hmm.
but there's really no up from here where I am. Like if I wanted to move up at when I would have to transfer departments and I would be doing something else. So something that, doesn't quite align with what I desire to do. So then I started writing things down. I started to
Okay.
journal about what I saw for myself, what I have the potential to do with all the potential that's inside of me. I'm working on myself. I'm healing. I started doing therapy, and
Awesome.
I strongly encourage that for all people.
I got a former
Don't ever
guest.
get into thinking that you don't need therapy.
Thanks everybody watching. You got a former guest, Gina King, saying amen to that.
Thank you, Gina.
I say I'm glad you didn't get stuck there. If you need help, teachers that are stuck,
Yes,
transferable skills. Yes. And I'm with
indeed.
you. Recent guest, she's awesome people.
Thank you. I appreciate it. um,
So you really had a moment to really jot down your thoughts and see where you're going from that point.
I did. And I realized that my ultimate goal
Mm-hmm.
is to start a nonprofit of my own.
Okay.
But in order for me to get there, I need more experience. So
Mm-hmm.
working at DWIN, I'm like, as much as I love it here,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go. I didn't want to. I love my team. I still love my team. I have a picture of them on my desk right now. Uh,
Awesome.
but there comes a time where you have to do what's best for you.
And that's
And in
tough.
order, and it's a tough decision. And in order for me to get to the next step, I knew I needed to move up in
Mm-hmm.
a position. So I was like, I'm going to start applying for program manager positions for youth programs. A done deal. I can do that. I applied to maybe 200 jobs.
Wow. You was grinding.
I'm like, every day, I'm on
You
my
didn't say
lunch
let's
hours.
go. You was on it.
I was on it. I'm just like, if it's a cover letter, I'm moving on. I'm just like, I don't have time to waste. I gotta go.
Ain't got time for them cover letters. We don't need that.
No, I'm just like, and then if it's really mandatory, I'm like, well, let me copy and paste something. Let me put it together. Like I had already had a cover letter, but I'm just like, let me adjust it for a job. So I'm not gonna deny that I did write a couple. I did already
And
write a
agrees
couple.
with you.
But it's like that is a process. And do they ever really read these cover letters that they request?
That's a great point because all the jobs I applied at Wayne State when I was trying to move up after I got my business degree. Oh, this job needed. I'm like, come on, man. Right, we're gonna copy paste, put that address for that building, this, and sometimes I didn't hear nothing back. Like I got a little irked when I did get the job I have now, and I was gone. I got an email like, "Oh, we're sorry, you want to be the associate director, supervisor." I'm like, I've been gone for like a month and a half. Really? That's how we doing it. Really?
I'm like, these jobs take forever to get back to you. And it's like, hello. Like, I know you
Mm-hmm.
might have a lot of candidates, but a simple, you didn't get the job, let me know. Don't leave me in the dark.
I
So,
hear you.
that was a trying time, but it's also like, I'm okay because I'm in a job that I actually like. So it's, there's no rush. But I'm just like,
Now,
I need some more money. You don't want to think like that, but it's
you need
it's
some
in
elbow
there.
room. You need to stretch
Yeah,
out
I'm
with your
like
money. So like, okay,
I'm
pay
like
the
I
bills
want to
and I
be
can relax.
comfortable.
You ain't living
You know
paycheck to paycheck. I understand.
exactly. You want to do what you love, but you don't want to have to live paycheck to paycheck.
Now, speaking about your new position, what is professional development director?
So it's a lot. I would say, but over
Oh,
the
wow.
past few weeks,
Okay.
I have truly learned a lot about myself and about the job. So, in my position as a professional development um, director, I am responsible for creating seminars to help lawyers and judges get their CLE hours. So, their learning
Okay.
hours, they have to have about 12 credits a year.
What's that? What's CLA? Anybody want to go into that?
It is certified learning education. So they are required to, I'm sorry, continuing learning education. That's what it is, continuing. I'm like, well, that I know what that C is. So they
Okay.
have to keep learning even after the fact, like it never ends. So they have to have these 12 credits a year. And it is my responsibility to make sure 2,600 lawyers and
Wow.
judges through Oakland County complete
Woo.
these hours. So
A lot of
I
people.
have, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's a lot of people. Keep going.
That's a lot of people. So every day I'm getting emails from different people.
Hmm.
The lady that I replaced is retired now.
Okay.
So me and her were able to overlap for 2 weeks. So I was able to get that hands on
Oh,
training
that's
in her.
awesome.
I'm like, I'm so grateful.
Help you out a lot.
There's no way that they could have just started me and I would have known what to do.
Okay.
And the interview process went by so quickly. Like
Mhm.
Tuesday, I had a 2 hour interview. Thursday, I had the second interview.
Wow.
Friday morning, I got the offer letter. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. It's got to be meant to be. It has to be. This has to be
Nervous.
it.
That's awesome. Yolanda, she say prayers.
Oh, thank you, Yolanda. Also in this position, I like I said, I create the seminars that are
Hmm.
put on throughout the year. I have to work with an advisory board, and I also have to be a liaison for our criminal law, juvenile law, and professional development committee. So I'm also serving on these three committees, and I'm serving on this advisory board
Oh, wow.
to make sure members are getting the education that they need.
Hmm.
I am holding these seminars. I'm creating the Zooms for these meetings.
Hmm.
Anytime that something needs to be recorded, that's my job.
Okay.
So, for example, we had an orientation this past Thursday,
Hmm.
and I was responsible for recording the entire orientation.
Wow.
And in order for me to do this, I have to stand in front of a computer for 2 hours to make sure it goes well. Well, this is my first time doing it, and the sound
Uh-huh.
was bad. The sound was very bad.
Oh. Mm.
And I'm just like, what do I do? But it's like, I'm new. and I can put it on that I'm new. And I was showed how to do this one time
Mm-hmm.
and expected to remember everything. And I did it right. I know I did it right, but somehow the
Technology
sound
can
just did
happen.
not work for me. So I'm just like, I'm learning how to create videos and
Okay.
upload them to different servers. That's a responsibility. I'm also responsible for updating web pages. I
Okay.
also do an article for a magazine called The Latches. I'm responsible for making sure they are up to date with all the professional development seminars that we have coming up.
Mhm.
So it's like I've never written for a magazine before. Like, it feels fancy. So there
There you go. I
there
hear
are a
that.
lot of components to my position, but overall, my responsibility is to provide quality professional development for attorneys and judges in Oakland County.
Now, on a daily basis, what's like the downside of your job?
I'll say that the expectations can be a little overwhelming,
Okay.
um, just because I'm right in it. So anytime that somebody has a question, they're coming to me, and I'm like, I'm gonna do my best to get you an answer. It may not be as quickly as you would like, but I promise you, I will get you an answer.
I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get on that for
Right.
you. Gotcha.
And then what it really was for me, like even though I got the offer letter, that quickly, I went through imposter syndrome. And I'm like, I'm trying to get down from it, but to me this was such a big step for me. Like I'm finally where I want to be, in my career journey. Like I feel like I skipped a step. I was just trying to be a manager and I'm a whole director. So it's just like, you can do this. You are successful. You are meant to be
Yeah.
here.
Your journey did prepare you for it. All the situations, experiences prepared you for the director spot.
Right. And I'm just like, I have to keep that in the back of my head that I'm meant to be here. I am the perfect
Mhm.
person for this job.
That's why the
But
journey is so important to take it in, because something minute is you dealt with someone and they gave you some knowledge. That might be very helpful when you're there where you're supposed to be. So
exactly.
take it all in. It's going to help you. And you're
I'm
doing your
taking
thing. You're holding it
I
down. You know, remind
yes,
yourself, you're holding it down. You got this.
I got this. And
You
I'm just
got it.
like, as long as I say that to myself, I can get through today. But it's
See,
definitely a
I'm getting
lot
proud
to.
of
Thank you, Gina. I appreciate it.
you. I ain't the only one saying you got it. You got this. You hold it down.
Thank you.
And walk boldly in knowing that every morning you get up, you got this. Thank God to ask for the wisdom, be the hardest working room every day. And people that you might need to lean on, they be there to help you. You got this every day.
Indeed. And it was just, walking into this new environment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the youngest person in the office. So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, I feel like I gotta be extra in the sense of like, yes, millennials deserve to be here. We are capable.
You're getting dirty looks like, hey, what? Her? Really? Well, you
And it's
qualified.
not that I feel like I get the looks from my staff, more
Mm-hmm.
so from the lawyers, just
Ah,
because of who I'm replacing.
gotcha.
And it's like, who is this young black girl coming in here to be a professional development director. Me. I'm
The right person
capable,
for the job.
I'm qualified. And I found myself saying that I'm qualified whenever they would bring me into a meeting for the first time and they're, tell a little bit about myself. I'm like, I've been doing workforce and professional development for over 5 years. My specialty may be in youth, but, professional development is a pretty broad spectrum, that can be used at any age level. So
Absolutely.
it's really just, I I feel like I'm the least educated person in the room, but you know, I'm just as capable as anybody else. You may have a law degree, but it doesn't make you better than me. You know what I mean? Just, knowing yourself and knowing what you're capable of. And you're capable of so much.
And don't feel that you less educated. You got everything God got for you to have to be there. And He give you more as you go.
Exactly.
Because you there. You're meant to
I
be in
am,
that spot. Hold it down.
and I'm here
And
to
Gina
stay.
says amen. And she said the future is yours. So if they
Thank
want to
you.
give you dirty looks, they just jealous because it may have took them longer to get to where they are, and you just kind of bam.
Yeah. And I'm just
Favor ain't
like, my
fair.
journey wasn't easy, but baby, I'm here, and I'm here to stay.
They said years ago, favor ain't fair. I'm sorry it took you 10 to 20. Hey, took me 4 or 5. Hey, sorry. Go talk to God. Talk to the big man about that journey. This is my journey. I ain't got to do with yours. I'm going to do my best job and keep it moving.
That's all I can do.
Now, what is the Oakland County Bar Association? Someone doesn't know.
The Oakland County Bar Association is a voluntary bar association, but it's the largest
Oh,
one in Michigan.
okay.
So, the bar association is once you pass the bar,
Okay.
um, as an attorney, you have the option to join a bar association. This is a membership that affords you networking.
Okay.
It affords you different qualities. It puts you in the room with other people that are just like you. So we have programs for new lawyers. They actually get free membership their first year
Mm-hmm.
after passing the bar. So that's giving you a year to figure out some things about yourself. We do the seminar so that lawyers can continue their education.
Okay.
Um, we have this program called Ends of Court that I'm responsible for.
Okay.
And Ends of Court is where you bring attorneys and law students from different levels.
Mm.
So, an associate is someone who is 0 to 5 years from passing the bar.
Okay.
Once you are 6 to 15 years, you are a barrister.
Okay.
After you hit 16 years, you become a master.
Ah.
So there are these different levels. And then, of course, we have judges. And for those of you who do not know, 5 years after passing the bar, you can become a judge.
I
Uh,
never knew
that
that.
was that was news to me. I for sure thought you would have to be a lawyer for quite some time before you could become a judge. But that's it. 5 years, you become a judge.
And we got
So, learning different things every day. But the Oakland County Bar Association is set up to network and educate attorneys and judges. It
okay.
has been around for a very long time. We are actually on our 90th president at this
Oh, wow.
time. So it started back in 1934.
Wow. And Gina says if you want the past, go for the educated. If you want the future, create it. I agree.
I agree.
Gotta make it
Absolutely.
happen. So on this journey, what would you say was the biggest challenge that you overcame?
Honestly, I would probably say college. And I say
Mhm.
that because my journey wasn't typical. And
Mhm.
it definitely took me longer than the average person.
I feel bad.
When I graduated from Cass, I went to community college and
Mhm.
I did that for a couple years, and then I transferred to Eastern.
Mhm.
And Eastern was good. I moved on campus and I didn't know anybody and I wasn't surrounded by people who looked like me. So I was very uncomfortable that first semester, but I got through it. When I came back in the fall, I had a roommate. She was black. And we got along just fine. Um, not to say that I didn't meet, some friendly faces my first semester, but a lot of them were freshmen. And I'm already 20, going on 21. So I'm just like, it's not the
It's not the
same.
same. Mhm.
It's not. But now I have this roommate. She's a year older than me. So I'm just like, it's perfect.
Mhm.
We get along. And then we went to this Greek Meet the Greeks event.
Okay.
And I always knew that I wanted to be in a sorority. Always
I want to
knew.
be a Q dog. Yeah, never got around to it. I was in a high school program, E5E. I'm like, I'm gonna be that, but working and going to school, schedule, like, I ain't got time to do it.
I mean, it's not too late. They have grad chapters, but
Yeah, man, I'm 47 years old. I'm a grown man now. What you telling me to do, bro? Hold on, man. Hand your cup upside down. Who you talking to, brother?
but nonetheless, by the end of my by the end of that winter semester, I became a Zeta.
Okay.
So
I had a
you know,
homegirl at Wayne State. That was one. Cool people.
yes, Zetas are amazing people. But on my right before I became a Zeta, I went on a rights tour that I was able to get paid for by one of my professors. So I was
Okay.
networking and I was building those relationships, doing everything that I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then after I came out, I became the president of the chapter, but I
Okay.
also ran for the executive board for the Black Student Union. So I was a sergeant at arms for the Black Student Union.
Those are awesome
I
jobs.
Yes, I was on the Diversity and Inclusion Student Advisory Board. I was on the NAACP membership committee.
Okay.
I
All
was
of it.
I was a part of a 10-point plan committee. You name it, I was there.
Okay.
So it's like I'm living in this moment. I'm being in this moment, and then some things started to happen to me because I was extremely overwhelmed. I'm like, I gotta be here, I gotta be there. Like,
Okay.
it's too much. And I literally had an anxiety attack in the middle of campus. So that's what I mean by college was like my hardest journey in learning myself, figuring
Mhm.
out what I want to be, who I want to be. I changed my major 3 times.
I
And
did the
after,
same.
I'm like, it
Graduated after 23 years. Hey, I've been there. I dropped out for a few years, then went back. So, I
I
understand.
didn't even I didn't even drop out. It took me 6 years of going straight through. I'm talking about even taking summer classes, all because there were times where I did not want to get up and go to class. So my advice to any young people watching this, please go to class, because guess what? When you
Yeah.
fail that class and you got to take it over, you got to pay for that. That's wasting money, thousands of dollars that I flushed down the toilet because I didn't want to get up and go to class. So that was
Yeah,
a
I
part
failed the
of it.
class 2 I ain't had to pay for it. It sucks. Didn't fail no more.
And I'm just like, once it happens, you like, all right, I got to get it together. So I definitely had to go through that moment and being young and irresponsible and trying to do too much at one time.
And for mental health, it's great to have that 988 number now you can reach out to get help as a
Exactly.
professional.
You know, like
So,
we had the
you,
CAPS program at
mhm,
Eastern, but
nice, they
it's
had that
like
too.
it wasn't something that was broadcast. So I'm just like, I'm sitting up here struggling and I could have been getting help.
Yeah, I know Wayne talked about it. But I guess that's something colleges across the board can make sure people know they got in house that can help you with that. I would assume
Exactly.
now since we talk about mental health more, they might be putting that in the flyers or however what colleges do to get the information out. Let the students know
Definitely.
and faculty that we do got help for you if you need it.
Exactly. And get that help if you need it. You are gifted 12 sessions each semester. Please take advantage of that. If you have the opportunity to, please
Okay,
do it. You are paying for that. Use it.
that's awesome. Now, for all your journeys, everything that got you to this point, what would you say has been your impact that you can see?
Mhm. I guess I feel like my impact is in my youth.
Okay.
Um, the people that I have watched grow up before my eyes, that I
Hmm.
worked with, especially back in MDOT, two of the youth, there's two in particular. Um, One is studying to be a mechanical engineer,
Awesome.
the other is studying real estate.
Nice.
And when I met them, they were two very immature boys. And now I'm watching them develop into successful Black men in the making. And I'm so very proud. Um,
Awesome.
you know, seeing the impact of people I worked with in college. I was mentoring people.
Hmm.
Um, One of them is a procurement specialist, another one is now a program coordinator. So, just watching them grow up from advice that I've given to them, seeing the women that they're becoming, or the
Hmm.
women that they are, because they have now graduated and they have good jobs. I'm just
That's
like,
awesome.
seeing the impact of, when you do things but you don't see it as a big deal. I had a young lady reach out to me and she was just like, I don't know if you know this, but you inspired me. And I was sitting there like, I don't know what I did. I'm like, what could it have been? But she was just like, you don't know it, but you were a huge impact on my journey. And I'm just like, well, all I can say is, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be that.
Hmm.
Just
You never know who's
having.
watching you.
Yeah, I'm just like, when I've done my presentations on mental health, I've done a lot of stigma busting workshops, and people coming to me afterwards. That was information I needed. That was helpful. That was useful, and I'm
Awesome.
just like, just knowing that what I'm doing is helping people, because that's a part of my purpose, to help.
Okay. Now, is there anything that you want to promote that you got going on?
Um, so I'm currently working on my grant writing certification. I don't have any upcoming events. Well, at least not for the public. Um, Most of my upcoming events are for the members of the Oakland County Bar Association. Right now, I am taking a
The
little step
nonprofit.
back
Okay.
for from youth. just because I'm trying to, make sure I have the gist of this new job. But
Mhm.
I did just do a transitional age youth forum. I did assist with that because that was something I was working on before I left my last job. And that was probably about 2 weeks ago that I did
Mhm.
that. So um, here
What
and
is that
there,
for?
I will still be working with my old team to help them promote things and work events. So they have an upcoming Youth Spotlight Awards, and I'll be helping with
Okay.
that. So whatever I can do to help with youth, I will do, and I will make it happen. So even though I've taken this step up in working in
Mhm.
professional development, I'm trying to take the transferable skills to get me to my nonprofit. And that is a long term goal for me.
Have you
Just
started or got the name yet?
I'm working on the name. I'm
Okay.
working on the name because I wanted like an acronym.
Gotcha.
Um, so I'm just like letters that make sense together. So it's
Huh?
definitely a work in progress. But I do plan for the nonprofit to focus on workforce development and mental health for youth, especially underserved youth. I'm from Detroit. I'm a Cal State graduate, so whatever I can do to give back to the community that I came from is the ultimate goal. But like I said, it's a long term goal. I would like to get my master's in public administration.
Okay.
Um, a part of that journey is, being educated and, you know, knowledgeable of what you're getting yourself into. And running a nonprofit is not easy. So I'm in the process of networking. So I'm just like, when I'm on LinkedIn and I see people that, are in bigger spaces, um, I'm adding
Mhm.
them. um, while I was at D-Win, I had the opportunity to attend the Women's Thrive Conference. So they paid for me
Okay.
to go to that. And that was a
Nice.
very big deal to me. And there, I met my mentor.
Okay.
And my mentor is actually the chief of staff at the Michigan Science Center and a Michigan 40 under 40. And her name is Andrea. And so it is aligning myself with women who I perceive as being where I want to be. So
Okay.
that is a big thing for me right now. You want to get in those spaces, you need to surround yourself with people who are already in those spaces to get where you're going.
Mhm.
No, it's not always what you know, is who you know. And in the case of MDOT, the who I know didn't quite work out for me, but hopefully down the line it will work out for me.
It worked to a degree because that knowledge you gained was invaluable. That helped you along the journey.
Exactly. So I can't say that I learned a lot from that experience. I take something from every experience.
Mhm.
And that's what you have to do. That's a part of getting through your journey. Like I said, those transferable skills, what can I learn here? If I don't plan on being here for a long time, I got to learn something. I got to network. I got to meet some people and add them to my repertoire. That's probably not the word for that, but
No,
just
no, it's fine
getting
work.
to know
It worked.
it'll work. Okay. So just,
Mhm.
getting to know people that'll help me, but also being willing to give back. And
Okay.
that's what I'm willing to do.
Any way I can help, let me know.
Oh, that is noted. Now that we've done this podcast, we're good friends, Jeffrey.
We family. What you talking about?
Yes, we family.
Gotta come up together. Last question. Main event. What advice do you have for someone trying to find their purpose?
Be patient. it's not just gonna come to you. Think about what you're working towards, right? Write down some goals that you have. If you know where you want to be, find somebody that's already there. There are a lot of people out there willing to share their wisdom. They're just waiting to be asked. My mentor, I asked. I found her, I looked her up on LinkedIn. I added her and I said, "Hey, I'm looking for mentorship. Can you help?" And she was open to it. So what I'm saying is don't be afraid to get out there and network. Do not be afraid to add a stranger on LinkedIn. That is what it's for. It is a professional environment to meet people who are like-minded or who you desire to be like. Not in the sense of idolizing people, but in the sense of striving towards something.
And space at the
So,
end, trying to get to.
yeah, work on building that network. It shouldn't be an issue for you to, if you have some type of question, just look on LinkedIn, scroll through your list, and you find somebody working in that field. Hey, what do you think about this? And people are a lot nicer than we give them credit for. So, do not hesitate to reach out. And finding your purpose. It's out there. Everybody has one. I promise you. And once you find your purpose, you may not be working in it right now, but just, figuring out how your goals can align and you can get there someday. So you may find your purpose before you find that job where you can use that purpose. So keep that in mind as you are searching for your purpose. There is no age limit on finding your purpose.
Nope.
Some people don't find it till they're 70, and that's okay. You have your whole life ahead of you. I'm grateful to have found it, but who's to say there's not more that I'm capable of? Do not limit yourself. Literally think outside of the box. You have so much potential in you, and you may not realize it, but I do. And I believe in you. So that would be my advice in finding your purpose. I hope it's helpful advice. Get your mental health in check. Um, you know, do not hesitate to start therapy. I know that's a harder thing within our community. You're not crazy. If we could just get rid of that stigma that seeking out help makes you less than, and it doesn't. It actually makes you better. You have to be healthy for not just yourself, but for other people around you. So that's very important.
Oh, that's some Yoda game you're getting right there. Pretty awesome.
I don't have a lot of wisdom, but
you got a lot. I'm talking about. There's a lot more in there. There's a lot more in there. Don't sell yourself short. Stop doing that. You got plenty more in there. Gotta give it to you. Indeed. I hope you have fun.
I really did have fun. I'm young. I'm still learning myself. I'm still learning how to appreciate me and the potential that I have. So, I'm just glad I could give this perspective of the person that has found their purpose, but is still very much so at the beginning of their journey.
Yeah, I do believe someone's going to come across this. It's going to help them start walking towards it, putting research in, and then trying. And we fail, it's okay. Keep trying. You'll find your groove at some point.
You will. I have been rejected from so many jobs. But I'm here.
I've been there.
There's so many interviews. You feel like you accomplish something when you get that interview, but you gotta keep trying.
Yeah,
Failure is
drive
not
way
an
out to Troy, do an interview, and like, this really ain't a job for you, but you seem cool. Like, dude, I waste the gas come way out here. You could have told me this ain't for you, bro. You ain't had to come
exactly.
way out to Troy for this. So I've
You
been
have
there.
to. And also, I will say, don't be so hung up on finding it where you are. You may need to leave. You may need to move around, and that is okay. You
Mm-hmm.
know, do it now before you change your mind. Like, just take that chance. Life is all about opportunity, and America is the home of the free. So, take that opportunity to move
True.
around if you can and search for your purpose. You do not have to stay where you are. I'm I'm a Wayne County. I'm a Detroit girl through and through. And
Mm-hmm.
here I am in Oakland County. So sometimes you may have to change your scenery or your environment to get where you're going, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you forgot where you came from, but you're moving, and you got to keep moving to get there. So always keep that in mind.
Hey, great knowledge right there from a person that's a rising star. Ain't reached all her potential yet. Hope it was very helpful to someone that needs to find a purpose. An enjoyable conversation as well. If you know anyone that you think might have a want to share their journey, feel free to reach out to me or let them know about me. I'm gonna
Will
make a
do.
copy of the show and give it to you in a little bit. So I want to thank Professional Development Director at Oakland County Bar Association, Shanay Cuthrell. Awesome individual, doing amazing stuff over there. Millennials can do it too. There's no stigmas out here.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. When I get
You as
done putting
well.
everything together, I'm gonna get it to you. Everybody else, enjoy your weekend. Have a great day.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate all the kind words and the opportunity to be here.
Oh yeah, we found him now, so you're gonna see me on LinkedIn. Say what up. What's going on with you? You all right? You
Indeed.
know, play this awesome trailer outro that I created.
Yes, yes. Let's hear
Let's
it.
Let's go.